What is going on YouTube? This is Acid Roots. So I'm going to review a 2011 album by dropping a pop Locket. Basically, this product is called My Lies With You, and it came out in the late fall of 2011. So fair about this product here is the factoid that dropping a pop Locket had a series of albums between starting with the late 2000s, grafting into the 2010s, pitches like that, so on type ordeals, excellent type pitches. He was a part of the crunkcore and MySpace kind of scene movement, pitches like that, amidst bands Warped and some of those type fares within those aspects. Definitely a banner type Hottopic store type highlight pitches like that, some of these type ordeals. But the pitch behind it, a lot of these albums are a lot more low key within pitch. I question the particular Spotify edition of this album was /2 songs within these pitches, which I pretty much would probably have to say that those are hits as well within these pitches. But those two extra songs would be Arcade Fire and then Too Loud Bonus something within those pitches. But I could go ahead and look up to see if Arcade Fire is actually available, but it's kind of the pitch as far as saying that this album is a simple enough classic, and I recognize within the pitch, it's kind of within the pitch as far as saying the commonplace kind of backlash that crunkcore and things like that kind of receive when you think of folks like Broken Side, The Millionaires, Blood on the Dance Floor, Jeffree Star. Some of these type of folks typically kind of get more of 1 star and 2 star out of 5 pitches like that, so on type of ordeals. Not to say it's actually bad within those pitches, but it just typically kind of catches a lot of flack just because the lack of kind of so-called quote-unquote vicious lyricism, pitches like that, was kind of ordeal. A lot of this Capital type stuff, I've given numerous Blood on the Dance Floor albums 10s out of 10. Same thing with Jeffree Star, same thing with The Millionaires, folks like that, some of those type of ordeals. Dropping a pop Locket, Curve, some of these type of folks in particular. Just a ton of these folks just really hit the nail on the head. Now, I have reviewed a previous Dropping a Pop Locket project. I don't remember its full bound when. I think it was in the summer of 2024. That might have been Curve, but I think it was Dropping a Pop Locket. It was some particular one that had a real snazzy album cover, pitches like that, with spray paint cans on the cover. It would take some time to look it up, but I'll probably put it in the connotation pitch like that. But yeah, classic album here. Now this particular one, very forlorn. This is kind of a themed type album within the pitch. Just the aspect of swamp type aspects with this is a very swamped and upside down type female type aspect of an album, just in more of winter type fares. So it's pitched like that, just some winter heartbreak as far as this pitch can happen, just to miss the ordeal. Excellent type aspect. The way it's nailed on here, the finesse of sounds real high just within pitch. Within the complex, you might get certain albums that have some of that, but this album really goes from wall to wall. I probably would have to guess not just the 16 songs that are on the Spotify edition, but probably all 18 songs have this aspect. Just dealing with the upside down typeness, and just the affable kind of winter heartache as far as this pitch can happen. When you think of a song by Nelly like Dilemma, some of those type ones, songs that Nelly did with Kelly Rowland Gone and Dilemma, some of those type ones that are just more summer heartache, and the span of the summer songs Over and Over and My Place, some of those type ones, this typical kind of summer drear is a good example, the aspect of on the other side of the coin, more amidst the holiday season and kind of just winter rush of the drear and just the frostiness type aspect with feeling upside down pitch like that. So it's just excellent type ordeal. Kind of going through some of that slump type fare and an emo type stuff. So it's a banner emo type album, I definitely say within a pitch. American Idiot by Green Day was kind of an upside down type album within pitches like that. And there's always some other type ones, some of the ones by My Chemical Romance and Panic at the Disco fares like that. But this is a particular one that does in a rap, a relative rap and crunkcore type sense. But there's actually not a ton of real dance club type thunder. For the most part, it has a lot more. This has a number of kind of makeshift emo type grabs, pitches like that within the ordeal. If you like songs like How to Love by Lil Wayne within those pitches, not quite as peppy. How to Love's a little bit more of a peppier type song in a rainy type sense, but similar to that particular form, just some radio grabs on here that are just kind of gusty and kind of more chum along type ones within pitch, just real soft spoken pitches like that within the ordeal as far as the concept of just feeling swamped and kind of just mellow and murmurish as far as those pitches kind of happen, but dismiss the ordeal as far as saying just the product of this. It's a pretty good relative commercial on here. So it's kind of the pitch. Dropping a pop lock, it's pretty low key. I don't think these were anywhere near charting. Not like to say like that in terms of quality, but the most popular song according to Spotify only got 20,000 plays. Most of these probably average 1,800, 1,700 pitches like that, as you can see on Spotify looking this product up. Not many really got past 2,000 within those pitches, so it's just kind of ordeal. 2 songs got past 2,000 hits on here, but it's just kind of aspect. It's real Capital. I think folks are missing out if they haven't fucked with this. Not to say like that, but just the pitch as far as saying it's a real Capital type album in terms of the quality behind it, just the delivery and the way it does it. So it has similarities to Blood on the Dance Floor. If you like songs by Blood on the Dance Floor, like Bewitched, some of those type ones, and other type ones, trying to think of some other particular ones. I think it's actually Death to Your Heart, some of those type ones. Songs like Bewitched and Death to Your Heart by Blood on the Dance Floor, and Something Grim, despite the fact that a couple of those particular songs hadn't come out yet by the time that this particular album was coming out within pitches like that. At least Bewitched was a 2012 song by Blood on the Dance Floor. I want to say Something Grim was 2013, so it's within those pitches as far as talking about. But some excellent type flares here, just within the format, very similar to how Davi and Javon kind of were around this time in 2010. Just pitches like that, some of those type of ordeals, just that same sort of snap and aspect within the appraise of it as far as this pitch can go. But it's just kind of there is a little bit more pep about this product, but it's pretty bedridden within like the concept, but just not really getting much past like, I mean, it has some outing type fares, a couple of Swamp Walmart type tunes and pitches like that, some of these type ones that miss like the aspect, but the more bedridden kind of upside down typeness just kind of within the format of this, dealing with like the concept of being swamped and like the formats of adjusting to like the aspect of like the befallenness of like the goings on as far as this pitch kind of, which is excellent type ordeals, just nails the appeal. Do like the aspect. It's like classic, typical kind of moody emo type album within pitch like that. Just real tight flare, just signature of how emo kind of was in 2000s, 2010s type fair. So this nails the pitch as far as to get into that particular fair. Hottopic standout, I would definitely say. So yeah, yeah, just talk about some of these. So some of these have lengthier type song titles, like when you think of Fall Out Boy, some of those type pitches. Like there's one particular one on here that's called That Smile Kills, but acoustic, which also has a surname of the first little ditty I ever used to glorify your existence. It's now the last song that I will say your name in. Have fun with whatever. There's just some songs like that on here as far as these pitches going to happen. So some excellent type ordeals getting towards some of these type ones just from the pitch, but it's just kind of the product. I'm probably going to refer to these with shorter type names within the pitch, but it's kind of format as far as saying this, it has like that particular fare about it, but it's excellent type pitches. The most popular song according to Spotify is I'm Like Stoop Kid with no stoop as far as these fares going to go. This has over 20,000 plays on Spotify. It's like a swamped and dreared kind of midday passage to get here, just chumming kind of limp days as far as this particular song's like some chumming kind of limp days as far as this pitch kind of happen. Stoop Kid with no stoop is just like chumming along type fare. It's kind of a breeze just with an aspect. Like I was saying, a good portion of this has some frosty type fare about it, so it's just kind of more probably between October and April. Some of those type pitches within the format as far as those pitches kind of happen, just to miss like the product of this extracurricular type fare, just figuring out some tasks to kind of do within those pitches, whether picking up like a Taco Bell meal, something like that, some of those type ordeals, good pitches like that, getting like croissants and zigzags to miss like the brush of it as far as those pitches happen. So just to miss some of those type pitches, but just kind of in a more swamp type ordeal, like I was saying, just the portion just kind of have like the haphazardness. Some of these type ones on here. I Miss You is a nice one. This is like a good emo kind of commercial grab to get. This reminds me like a mixture of like AFI and Blood on the Dance Floor. So yeah, it's like a good AFI and Blood on the Dance Floor mix. Kind of like the song Love Like Winter. Some of those type pitches by AFI, good pitches like that. Just kind of that brush of it. Just kind of some blear as far as those pitches kind of happen. So a song like I Miss You really has some snowy type pep within pitches like that. Just that real light lick kind of frolic within the aspect, just within a brush type fare as far as those pitches can happen. Just definitely feels like Blood on the Dance Floor. Just less on the dance floor and less kind of on the dance floor and dance club and pitches like that, and it's more amidst like the frolic like neighborhood type fare, just an aspect just like some strut arounds, good aspects. So just Blood on the Dance Floor, just a more strut around and kind of like AFI off their December Underground type album. Definitely songs like Love Like Winter. Another one that's kind of within those fares would be this one, Makes It 8. This is a good quality one here. This is like a frosty kind of emo day commute to kind of get within these aspects. This good gusty kind of errand runs, I'd say, within the product. Just a good song to grab Doritos, pitches like that. It's like a song for some good gusty kind of errand runs and grab Doritos as far as this pitch kind of. So just within the ordeal, just kind of miss the fair. Good portion of some of these type ones are just to miss the aspect. Like I was saying, within the pitch, it's not as much. It is kind of the adjust of just getting towards the format of just the aspect of being swamped. Some of these type fares is just kind of the pitch as far as saying within the tone of just out and arounds, but just kind of more or less just the push of it and the chum along as far as those pitch kind of happen. So just kind of within the ordeal, but just typical kind of emo dredge within those aspects. This Hottopic type fare, kind of amidst like colder type fare within pitches like that, but just kind of within the tone. Just kind of miss the tone of like some commerce within those fares as far as the pitches kind of happen. So just yeah, within standard day brush. Happy Birthday, Be Safe is a nice one on here as well. It's like a nice simmering kind of sun gaze to get. To smoke a couple, I would definitely say here, just a makeshift grab. I'd say with an aspect, just kind of some rainy fog as far as this pitch kind of happen. The way I talk about these songs does not full bound kind of convey the actual pain of this album as far as these pairs can happen. There's some ones on here that really have like a pretty, like if you're in a pretty swamp type mode, pitches like that, just the upside down type format with just a bad spell, pitches like that, some bad hair days in there, just within a real aspect of just like fuck it. Middle fingers raised, pitches like that is kind of just within a morose type tone. Some of these type ones, there are some ones that really have like that aspect. Happy Birthday, Be Safe is one of those type ones. That Smile Kills, but Acoustic's one of those type ones. Never Down to Let You Down, some of these type ones, pitches like that. There's some ones that are swamped that try to bring the pep back in terms of like some fair, like next time you feel like giving up, listen to this song. There's like one, Never Down to Let You Down. It's kind of one trying to go to Walmart and miss like the swamp type fair, pitches like that. Kind of a song for being pissed off, pitches like that, amidst those fairs. Bottle. Oh yeah, another upside down type one would be, I could call this one The Juice Worth the Squeeze, but that's lame as far as those pitch guys. So some of these type ones really have the ordeal, but yeah, just the aspect of like harnessing the pain on here as far as these pitch guys, just a real particular, this is a real connecting type album within these pitches. It just really nails the appeal, just having like within the same type glam factor of like an album by Adele, like 21, some of those type pitches. Maybe not as full-bound commercial, obviously, as Adele's 21, but within the pitch that same variety that you get the torment on here, and just has the aspect as far as saying within the tone that it carries, like the particular bite about it. So it's just good pitches like that. That Smile Kills, but Acoustic is nice on here, and that has a lengthier song title. Like I was saying, the first little ditty I ever used to glorify your existence is now the last song I will say your name in, have fun with whatever. But particularly this song is like a slumped and dope, kind of wallowed, homebound disdain. I feel about this one, just kind of a feeling chum type song. It's kind of a homebound kickback type song, pitches like that. Just kind of some extra time pitches like that. House clean, but kind of more within the fair, just the dredge aspect behind it. Behind just not as commonplace, being in modes and moods as far as those pitches kind of happen. Haphazard pitches like that, say within those tones. Bottle Caps and Honesty in D minor is a nice one as well within these pitches. Like a gnarled and soury kind of mood swing type song, pitches like that is good for like some venting and need to toke as far as those pitches can happen. This one's a little bit more in a blasé kind of middle fingers raised type mode, more within the pitch. Not so much middle fingers raised in terms of like the slump factor, but just a little bit more aggy pitches like that, kind of within the tone as far as saying just a little bit more bad hair day and like a more riled up type mode. Just particular kind of good emo kind of rager pitch like that. Kind of a social type one. This is one of the more type ones that has a little bit more Friday, Thursday type flair about it. Pitch just like there's a couple of these on here. Like I'd say at least Bottle Caps and Honesty in D minor, and then also like there is a dance club song on here I'm trying to find. Oh yeah, January Makes for Cold Hands and Warm Eyes as far as those pitch guys. So some of those type ones have the particular flair as far as like a good step out with them pitch, but just kind of just the pitch of like the usual type. There's just more swampiness, which is definitely dope within the pitch. But yeah, speaking of January Makes for Cold Hands, it's a nice one. So January Makes for Cold Hands and Warm Eyes, like a good emo MySpace kind of jump, I'd say, within the aspects here. Good dance banger to get, and just some break free as far as those pitch happens. So just kind of missed the ordeal. Kind of within a blood on the dance floor type format. Some of those type ones that just head into like the dance floor. Some of those type pitches to really getting crunk within the aspect, like how typical crunkcore kind of went in late 2000s, early 2010s, pitches like that. It's kind of back on the romping scene, some of those type of aspects within the tone as far as this pitch can go. Just blistering type of appeal, good fury about it as far as this pitch can have, but still a little bit hollow within the pitch, but just nails the appeal. Darn It, Hunter Beat Me To It is nice on here as well. It's like a day drifting kind of Sunday and evening passage to kind of get within the aspects. It's a quick blasé kind of intake fog as far as this pitch kind of goes. So just kind of the aspect of almost feels kind of Heartland, but just within the pitch like something to kind of listen to in like a kind of orangey, it's more golden and orange skies pitches like that. It's great dust type fair, just like the retire from like typical kind of day aspects within the fair behind it. So just relative makeshift kind of embrace, relative flip mode kind of embrace as far as this fair is going to happen. Nice song to kind of kick back with like a cold one as far as this pitch can happen. Just take the edge off as far as this fair is going to happen, along with a good type flair. Yeah, I Wouldn't Take Me Back either is nice as well within these pitches. Like a frosty and dredgy kind of get around within the aspects of it. Just snack run kind of nice snack run type song pitches like that, just kind of out in the push as far as this fair is going to go. So just out in the weather as far as those pitches kind of happen, just kind of within the ordeal, just kind of the get along within those fair standard errand and snack runs or utility runs pitches like that, just kind of get the usual type task taken care of within the pitch behind it. Just lackadaisical but productive as far as those fairs going to have some good type ordeal. It's kind of a chipper type song, let's say, within those aspects, with good type flair about it. The song had no potential for positive lyrics. It's nice as well. It's like a haphazard kind of get along and dreary kind of day push as far as these first going to happen. So just one of those type ones that you probably would have caught from like Blink 182 or Good Charlotte. Some of those type folks kind of takes it back to like early 2000s kind of punk type fare, but it's just kind of within the pitch like a relative commercial grab pitch like that. Some of those type ones. There are some ones on here that kind of have that. Definitely songs like I Miss You and This One Makes It 8 kind of do that within those appeals as well within some of those type pitches. Happy Birthday, Be Safe, some of these type ones within the aspects as far as these fairs going to go. It's excellent type fare with some of these. This kind of like a relative punk aspect type about it, but just good scene type, more vocal type one pitches like that is kind of a break free as far as those fairs going to happen. A good bop off this album would be Co-Pilot of My Life. This is nice here. This reminds like an emptier kind of Bewitched by Blood on the Dance Floor, I'd say, within those aspects. And this particular song, like I was saying, came out before that particular song, was within similarities to it. Yeah, some good similarities within those appeals. It's like a peppy but hollow kind of get the mood right as far as this pitch kind of happens. So this particular song is peppy but hollow as far as this pitch going to happen. Good song to get the mood right as far as this pitch going to happen. So just within the ordeal and within the aspects as far as these tones going to happen. I mean, it has like the relative flair about it, just kind of within the pitch of Co-Pilot of My Life feels like a chum along type song within pitch like that, but it has like the particular flair as far as just getting towards like a good concept to keep the mood right within those pitches. Now within the fair, it kind of feels like for the most part a good portion of this album's kind of after the fact as far as those pitches can happen, but within the ordeal, just within the pitch, it just having like those tones as far as keeping it within the aspect as far as something to kind of listen to within the sense as far as like the aspect of just not. Some of these type songs are also good for like good proactiveness as far as those pitches gonna happen, just keeping the mood right as far as those pitches gonna happen, just having the aspect of like as far as saying, you know, I'm gonna go get that TV series or that Netflix gift card as far as those pitches gonna happen within the ordeals, just keeping like the mood station as far as those pitches gonna happen, just some of those type aspects, pick up a Kit Kat, Dr. Pepper, some of those type fairs within it. Pick up like a Kit Kat, Dr. Pepper, some of those type pitches within form. But yeah, definitely some of those type products are just keeping like things stationed as far as those first come. But just within the pitch as far as like the after effects is kind of the fair thing about Bewitched by Blood on the Dance Floor is just kind of that was kind of a pitch like a song that was just kind of the embellish of like diva fits as far as those first can have just focus on Bay and kind of the product of this, the charm of it as far as those first can happen. This is kind of one of those type of songs that has the after effect, but it just kind of feels more within like a kind of screwed up type sense within the pitch as far as those pairs can happen, but it just kind of has the aspect as far as saying some of these type of songs is good within a pitch to just kind of have the extra aspect. Some of these type of songs is good to have like the extra aspect of like the goodies nearby pitches like that as far as like the party favorites and things that like those relative type natures. But it's just kind of the pitch as far as saying this is kind of like an album to kind of listen to and like the more brooding type aspect in terms of like the tone of just being swamped and a series of bad days. But it's kind of the pitch as far as saying within the product like the socialize, throwing this in with your pals pitch like that. It's kind of the ordeal as far as saying that it has some of these type moments on here, but it just kind of that's the only thing about it within these fairs, just keeping that within the party of trying to listen to this with others as far as those pitch guys. I'm having some of that extra type fare, but just mood right type songs, definitely some of these type ones. I would say that songs like particularly January Makes for Cold Hands and Warm Eyes is a good example of like good social type fit to kind of have like some smoke type fare. Happy Birthday, Be Safe is one of those type ones to smoke with pals pitches like that. It's kind of on the just a straightening type song. I'd say some of these snack run type songs, like Yeah, It Wouldn't Take Me Back Either. This one Makes It 8. Some of these type pitches kind of have the format of it, so it's just within those fairs about it. Next time you feel like giving up, listen to this song. It's nice on here. It's a good type pitch. It's like a rise and shine kind of half pep about this particular song as far as these fairs can happen. Just a super grog type feeling pitches like that. This is one of those type ones that this is a slump type song within pitches like that. Next time you feel like giving up, listen to this song. It's one of those type ones that just kind of a fuck my life kind of. Next time you feel like giving up, listen to this song. It's one of those type ones that just like a fuck my life, kind of fuck today type aspects within the tone, and just not really in the mode for like the particular pep. But let's kind of within the fair as far as what I was saying with being half pep type song pitch like that. It was kind of the ordeal as far as just like the particular grog type fashion, just to get up and go within those aspects, just the particular fair, just like some emo kind of makeshift within those pitches in like an underground type format. So nails the appeal. Some of these type ones do have the commercial bite about it, but it's just kind of pitch, just like the slog type feeling. It's kind of haphazard, probably needed zigzag or two, something like that to get the mode right pitches like that. But it's just kind of ordeal as far as just like this, yeah, pretty much. I think one of those particular type ones that sums up the mantra of like a song like this within those fairs is kind of fuck my life as far as this fair's gonna happen now. Within the pitch, it is trying to be a pep type song, but it's just kind of pitch. It just kind of gives more vibes like that as far as this fair's gonna happen. I'm trying to think of some other type ones on here that I haven't talked about that might actually take care of it. Maybe I didn't talk about. I don't think I talked about it. I'm not sure if I talked about the song. I could call this one The Juice Worth the Squeeze, but but that's lame as far as those pitches gonna happen. So this is like a good emo kind of Heartland dredge gonna get just some intake pain as far as those pitches gonna happen. Just some good after product within those pitches as far as those formats gonna happen. It's kind of after effect of this, the insular kind of few days within pitches like that, but it's kind of aspect of this kind of the wallow and some of those type pairs, hella smokish, this within the product of this kind of in a slump trying to bounce back as far as those pitches gonna happen. Some of these type ones. Never down to let you down kind of goes along with that within those pitches. Well, I don't think I talked about that one either, but it's kind of the pitch as far as saying some of those type ones. Also, particularly happy birthday, be safe. Some of these type ones with the aspects, some of those type flares about it. This is kind of the fair as far as those pitch kind of go, but this is definitely this is probably one of the darker type songs on here. I could call this one the juice worth the squeeze as far as those pitch kind of happen. Yeah, I think one of the last ones I haven't talked about on here is Never Down to Let You Down within these pitches. Like a routine kind of get along and like the wind pitches like that. I'd say just a social kind of upside down here within these products. Just kind of Walmart and some Swamp pitch, things like that. So just kind of those pairs. Some of these type ones within the pitch are just kind of more snack run, just out in the neighborhood pitch like that. Just to miss like probably the trek to go into a gas station or places like that. Post office, some of these type pairs within the pitch like the standard day push in like a frosty type sense. But this is kind of one where you might have to be more miss people or having like a standard conversation with like a clerk or cashier, some of those type products where it's kind of like, hey, just the venting type aspects of just listening to songs like this just 2 or 3 minutes ago, going to that fair, like the socialized kind of within the product of it. It's kind of this aspect for some of those type bites within as far as this pitch can happen. But basically just in our public type outing within like Never Down to Let You Down is just in our public type outing like a frosty kind of swamp type sense as far as those pitch can happen. So just further type ones within the product of being upside down, but just kind of miss the pitch. It is more within the day traffic pitches like that. So I think that particularly takes care of this album as far as these pitches can happen within the ordeals behind it. There might be one more song I haven't talked about on here. I'm not sure if I talked about Sleep Well, My Love, Sleep Well. This is nice as well. It's like a nice morning. Sleep Well, My Love, Sleep Well is nice as well within these pitches. Like a nice morning slog and blood on the dance floor style dredge to get within these aspects here. Just kind of have like a sluggish kind of coffee pitch like that. So just to miss like the brush like the fair, just like the commuted disc like brisk type fair pitches like that. It's kind of the aspect. Just some brushy kind of get up and go as far as those pitches gonna happen, but just within the ordeal, just kind of haphazard. Still within those products, just a good type ones within these pitches, but just kind of within the aspect. This one has a little bit more. This particular song is a little bit more busy-bodied and active within those pitches, kind of more within the preoccupy of it as far as those pitches gonna happen, but just within pitches like the standard kind of brush, like the particular day passage and pitches like that. So it's just kind of ordeal, just the morning schedule, work, blue collar work, fair pitch. Day task and errands as far as this pitch can happen within the aspect behind it. It's a good product as far as this pitch can go, but I look after it. This is kind of a makeshift type album within certain type senses, a little bit more this time compared to like the previous drop into Pop Locket, which I reviewed, which had more dance bangers on there. That was a lot more ravenous type album, but this just kind of a pitch like amidst like the commonplace of just like the brush long, very similar to AFI and Blood on the Dance Floor, some of those type ones, System of a Down, folks like that, My Chemical Romance, some of those type fares within it. Banging kind of Hottopic and emo type album pitches like that. So this nails the appeal. So 10 out of 10 album. Social score would probably get. Now, I didn't have a single on here pitches like that. Seemingly, it might be a little bit tricky to find within those aspects, at least in a CD type format. But I'd probably say within the appeal, especially those two songs, I wasn't able to find Arcade Fire or Too Loud Bonus, something within those pitches. So it's kind of the ordeal as far as saying it's a 10 out of 10 out. The score gets a 10 out of 10, but the social score might get like a 9.75. It's kind of within the pitch, like I was saying, within some of these type products, as far as trying to listen to this album with like your pals pitches like that. It's just kind of the aspect. It's not terribly, it's full bound social. It's because it's kind of in repairs as far as this pitch kind of happens. Just kind of missed the aspect as far as saying it's not quite in the mood. It's kind of adjusting to like the commonplace of just push along with like the products that like socialize within some of the type fairs. Just kind of typical kind of winter heartache and things like that within those aspects as far as just like the forlornness that really makes for like a real affable and connecting type album pitches like that. But it's just kind of ordeal as far as saying there are some ones on here like I was saying, like January Makes for Cold Hands is one of those type ones. Bottle Caps and Honesty in D minor kind of has some of that type of appeal. There are some other type ones on here, some commercial grabs like I Miss You kind of has that type of appeal within like some social bias. Just kind of, I mean, this has some degree of social moments. Co-Pilot of My Life has some good type of appeal. Sleep Well, My Love, Sleep Well kind of has a busybody kind of morning brush. So it's just kind of, it has the aspect, but this is kind of more ho-hum type territory within like the aspect of this. It's social, but it does it within kind of a dicey type tone. It's not to say dicey in terms of quality, but just the pitch is just, it's not the primary focus this time as far as this first happens. So just kind of the aspect, but I look after just being able to say, so the quality is on here. It's just kind of the pitch as far as saying it's just not this usual kind of ferocity that like dropping a Pop Locket or folks like them, Jay Vaughn, Blood on the Dance Floor, some of these type folks, Garrett Ecstasy, folks like that, some of those type pitches, and Dot Dot Curve, some of these type folks, Fat J and folks like that from Broken Side kind of do pitches like that, but it's just kind of a deal. But yeah, 9.75 social within pitches like that, just mainly because the songs that are missing, just the aspect of being able to locate the sound. But yeah, pitches like that. In terms of future dropping a pop block, it has plenty of these type of albums, pitches like that. As far as these sort of deals can have, so it's Capital within the appeal. It's a banner type album in terms of the aspect of just like the whoppiness that it kind of has. Definitely a real classic type of appeal. It's definitely some winter type. This really works perfectly for the winter within those pairs. It's upside down. It's real upside down, not as full bound kind of blisteringly type social, but it does have the gems on here within those aspects as far as being able to nail it. So it's this kind of pitch as far as getting towards it. So I would definitely give the album a whirl within some stuff pitch to just have like a good taste like emo kind of early 2010s vintage kind of Hot Topic days and pitches like that.